So 2023 coming to an end. Reflecting back, do you feel what we talked about happening in e-commerce going into 2023 last year, did it come to fruition? Do you see specific changes? What is your confidence level on the e-com ecosystem as a whole, from Shopify to marketplaces, subscriptions, and beyond?
So I think it went exactly as expected. This entire year was, economic uncertainty, and that's what we saw, right? Advertising became more difficult because of the economic uncertainty. Discretionary spending was down, and when people were spending extra money, you saw the U.S.'s debt overall go up, which is not a good thing, especially since so much of it was cleaned off in the previous couple of years.
What are maybe some of the things that stand out to you that you're like, hey, we called out these 1, 2, 3 things and they came to fruition?
So right away, you look at what occurred during the pandemic, right? We saw this blip. You're looking at e-com, and this chart is just going up and to the right, and it's a slow and steady race. And then we saw, with craziness during the pandemic, it just shot up like a stock that just drilled their quarterly to the best of their ability. And there were two thoughts during that period. You had the one side that was like, oh, this is the new normal, when in reality, they were incorrect, right? And you saw a bunch of large companies make that mistake where they overhired, and that's one of the causes of the mass layoffs we've seen this year. And then you had the other court that saw it for what it was. It's a blip in the radar, and it'll normalize afterwards. And if you look at 2019 and then 2023, yes, there's that anomaly in between, but it's pretty much on pace to where it should have been. We just had this anomaly that was caused by the pandemic, and with that came mistakes of overhiring. You also saw a large influx of new brands, new merchants, hey, let's start a business, right? And the reality is, a lot were not product market fits, but they had success because they were a product market fit when you're stuck in your house shopping online and you have nothing else to do, right? And in the reality of us being allowed to go outside again and go about our lives, they weren't product market fits. So I think you had a lot of noise during the pandemic e-com boom, and now we've just normalized. And I think we'll continue to see this normalization.
Now, do you think we normalize, or do you think maybe the pandemic and leading up to today, where we are with ad spend, acquisition costs and everything, did it for certain verticals, especially when we're talking about smaller scale businesses, did it maybe oversaturate the marketplace?
Well, I think all of the above. I think we normalized, but I think there was definitely oversaturation. And you combo that with a post-iOS world and a world where Meta is going to raise advertising costs to try to make shareholders happy. You have all these variables all working at the same time. It's not a single one, it's all of them. It's that too. You then at the same time had all these people thinking that I'm going to start a business and Shopify is going to help me do that. So you had all these these micro brands start up. Some had success and became legitimate brands, but with all those other variables, many were just, their destiny was not a good one. Their fate was not going to be a good one. And they were kind of blinded by variables and blips in the radar that were not normal.